Hi everyone, and welcome to the first flight review of my channel. I've just arrived at Terminal 2 at Dublin Airport, where I'm going to be heading across the Atlantic with Aer Lingus on their A330 service to Orlando. Check-in is located on the ground floor in Dublin Airport and is separated into three areas: business class check-in, self check-in, and down the far side there's the normal check-in desks. Even though it was a Saturday morning, the airport itself wasn't that busy. So when we got here, we were able to go straight up to one of the self-service check-in desks and get the bags all tagged and ready for bag drop. Bag drop itself today wasn't too busy either. I think we had about 4 or 5 people in front of me. Once we got the bags on, checked in, we had to do a quick passport check just because we're travelling on a UK passport. But once all that was done, it was time to head up to security. To get the security screening in Dublin Airport, you need to head up to the very top level. Then again, just like check-in, the lines here at security were actually very short. I think we got from joining the line to exiting security in about 10 minutes. So after all security checks are done, it's the usual walk through duty free, and then we get ourselves into the main terminal. Even though the board is saying that we probably should head down to border control, from experience, we know that's not the best option, so we're going to spend a bit of time up in the main terminal. In the main terminal, there's actually plenty of places to have a drink, bite to eat, or do a bit of shopping. But for me, I always head over to the follow bar. So one of the main reasons why I head to the follow bar is this: the view of the apron. Here you can get to see all the American flights coming in and departing for the day. And of course, you can also get yourself a bite to eat or even a wee drink. After about 30 or 40 minutes here, it was time to start heading down towards the gate. In case you didn't know, this is one of the best bits about travelling to America from Dublin Airport: pre-clearance. What this means is that you clear American immigration here, so when you land in America, the flight actually arrives as a domestic flight. This saves lots of time on the other end and you're straight into the terminal. So this is the reason we spent a bit more time up in the main terminal before going through pre-clearance. There's actually not a lot in this area. We have the kitchen whiskey bar, which gives good view of the apron. There's a couple of shops, but not much else. One thing we do have down here though is the 51st and Green Lounge. This lounge is free for business class passengers and those with silver status or above with Aer Lingus, although you can pay about €40 to enter. But for me, the best place to sit is here by the windows. We can have a look out onto the apron and have a look at see what's bringing you over the Atlantic. And today we have an 18-year-old A330-300 called St. Beacon. So after about 20-30 minutes sitting down at the gate, it was time to start boarding. Aer Lingus, after doing their business class passengers and priority passengers, they always start the board from the back. So if you're around the back seats, at least you're getting on first. Oh yeah, we go. So today I'm in 21K, which is located just over the wing. Having a look at the seat, the legroom isn't too bad for me, although I only am 5'8", but there's enough legroom for me to stretch out a little, and plenty of room for my feet. The screen is an okay size, certainly watchable, but I've definitely had bigger screens heading over the Atlantic. As for the tray, it's now one of the standard folding trays that fold in half. We can have it just out for a drink, or fully out for your meal, and it can slide towards you. Now let's have a look at the in-flight entertainment. For movies, there's a good range here to watch, plenty of newbies, but we also have quite a few oldies, which are some of my favourites. Then looking at the TV section, again we've got quite a good selection here. A lot of single seasons of things, although they usually are the full season and not just a few sporadic episodes that I know quite a few other airlines do. Then we have the audio section. Audio section looks good, something I never really bother with. If I'm going to listen to audio, I'll usually just listen to it on my phone. Then we'll have a small selection of games. Not lots of them, but enough to play. For me, my personal favourite is Sudoku. And then we have the kids zone. I know plenty of you heading over to Florida will have kids with you. There probably is quite a good selection here. Certainly enough to keep them entertained for, what, 7-8 hour flight. Then we've got the information side of things. Bit of information about the airline, which will not go through. We then have the menus. So these are for like the drinks menu. Aer Lingus only offers soft drinks for free. If you want to buy an actual drink, it is going to cost you, although the price actually isn't too bad. Each screen has a USB-A socket and your standard headphone socket. This used to be a 2-prong socket, but now it's a single prong. Then we'll have my favourite bit, the map. The Aer Lingus A330, it's actually very basic. There's about 5 or 6 screens that it cycles through, giving you a few stats on each screen. You can't move it, you can't zoom in, literally there's nothing you can change on this. Shortly after takeoff, they came around with a little snack, just a little bag of pretzels, soft drink, whatever you wanted to have with your drink there. Couldn't get any tea or coffee at this point, so it literally was just soft drinks or purchase the alcoholic drinks if you wanted. But for me, it was time to start watching the first film of the day, and of course, old classic, Beverly Hills Cop. One thing I do recommend on these Aer Lingus flights is to bring your own headphones. These headphones are rubbish. Well, first of all, mine were broken, so couldn't even use them. But the aircraft is quite noisy. Using these, you're never going to hear anything. For me, I always bring my own set of headphones. I can plug it in, it's a single prong jack, and they've always worked perfect. Then, about 2.5 hours into the flight, it was time for the main meal. Today's options were chicken pasta or a spicy beef. I went for the chicken pasta option. So in your tray you get your main meal, some salad or bean thing, not too sure if it's that or couscous, a nice wee wheaten bread, which is always nice with a bit of butter, and an apple and custard crumble. Overall, this meal was okay. It's certainly not the best meal I've had on an airline, but very far from being the worst meal I've ever had on an airline. The dessert itself is also quite nice, which I like. And then, to finish off any meal, you need yourself a nice cup of coffee. And I will give this to Aer Lingus. They do make a nice cuppa. Hi everyone, so we're checking out the toilet in the Aer Lingus A330-300. As we can see, it is very cramped. We're about 4 hours into the flight, and this toilet is actually still quite messy. Very, very little room. Some hand soap. Bin. Not much else. So as we're heading over Canada, they gave out another nice little touch, and that is the usual ice cream. Now, for some reason, I don't know why, it happens on all airlines, is you have this little wooden spoon to surround your ice cream, but the ice cream is always rock hard. So, have to leave it for about 5-10 minutes before actually being able to eat it, which is a bit of a tease. Then about an hour before landing, we got our final meal. It was this tomato and cheese heated filled bop type thing. Not gonna lie, it wasn't the greatest. Whenever I opened it up, it was a bit sticky, it was sticking to my fingers. It was hot, but also very wet. Yeah, it was okay. Then, with about 15 minutes left to go, it was time to make the approach into sunny Orlando. Even though our flight was quicker heading over the Atlantic than it was supposed to be, I think we arrived about half an hour early. Because of that, there actually wasn't a gate for us, so we ended up waiting there anyway for about 10-15 minutes. And again, this is the big benefit of departing from Dublin, is that you're arriving as a domestic passenger. So this is us straight into the terminal. We can walk straight out of the airport right now. and they always like arriving in the Orlando airport. This is the new Terminal C, so there's quite a lot of new places, new food places, places to drink. So I'll give a review on this when we're heading back home. Then once off the plane, you've got about a 5-10 minute walk max to get up 2 levels where there's going to be the baggage claim. There we go, that's the first flight review ever done on my channel. It was Aer Lingus from Dublin to Orlando. Quite a full flight there, so it was today. Food was a bit so-so. Cabin crew were lovely. Flight itself was uneventful. And we had, in-flight entertainment was good. We had plenty to watch, so we did. One thing we will say is though that when we got to Orlando, the baggage reclaim took so long. I think it's a few times now we've had this problem where we've literally been standing there for 45 minutes waiting on the first bag to come out. And when they did come out, they were coming out dribs and drabs. So at the time we waited on our bags and went there and got our hire car, because obviously bags were coming out slow. It took us near enough 2 hours between landing and leaving the airport. So if you are coming to Orlando, be wary of that there. But this is us now. We've travelled up to Lake Mary. We're going to stay here for a few days and then we're going to fly back on Thursday. We'll do a flight review on the way home. But for now, I hope you enjoyed the video and hit subscribe below. Bye.